Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to my analysis of Bela Fleck's Whitewater. In this episode 2, we're going to be looking at the solo, which goes like this. Ah. Okay, so basically, let's take a look at the first 8 bars of that solo. So basically, the large form of that is like what we call like A, B, A, C, which means there's an A part, there's a B part, goes back to the A part, and finally the C part. So that's A, B, A, C. And you'll see for the next 8 bars, something similar happens. You'll see, I think it's A, B, A, C, so it's going to be... It's similar. It's like it's got motivic development. He takes a motif and he develops it, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, so anyways, back to the A B A C thing. Here's the A part. Here's the B part. Here's the C, the A part again, and then finally the C part. Okay, like what happened in the first episode. The majority of this is built of forward rolls. You can see that guy right there is one big forward roll. I'm playing that with but just one finger in the left hand, and again, I'm doing a substitution because it's an index forward roll. I'm starting it with the thumb and then falling into it. And then the melody happens right on the index finger in that roll right there. So it's just thumb and then like an index forward starting with the thumb. All with the middle finger in the left hand. Yeah, so that's that. It's not too bad. You just follow that minor pentatonic thing. It's the same notes as this, but it falls in line with the forward roll on the second string. So that's it. You're just kicking some butt on that second string. Okay, and then it also starts with in this case, a quarter note thumb, and that is going to be substituted right here with a little bum ditty, or like a thumb two, I should say. And then the melody that's happening there, it's da 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 da. I'm going like, you're playing a kind of like a C suspended down to a C, 6 5 5. And then what happens is your index finger has to go from the second string to the third. And I'm going like middle, index, middle. Or I guess middle, index. There's a handful of ways you can do it. Aim for the right hand, the left hand will follow. Yeah, middle, index with a little shift right there. So it's not too hard. It's not too hard. You'll get it. The tricky part is just following that forward roll because you're playing like essentially a polyrhythm. It's 3 notes like 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 over a 4-note pattern. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1. So that's the thing you got to get used to, especially as a banjo player. It's deceptively simple, and a lot of banjo players that I see have trouble. Even developed banjo players have trouble with forward and backward rolls, essentially because of that polyrhythm that's happening. Anyways, so this part right here is that, remember, A, B, A, C. That's the A part, except starts with a little thumb two instead of a thumb. And then this guy, this is just it's just from the beginning. Yeah, again, it just follows with that forward roll. And then get that melody. Okay, cool. Let's go on to the next section. Okay, here we have. Okay, now it goes like this. Now check out this melody without the roll. We can just take a look at it just from the second and third string. Oh, it's really like only on the second string. So it's That's what's happening. That's what's happening on the second string, and then you just got to add a forward roll to it. And then it has that little eighth note, that quarter note pause at the beginning. And as long as your forward rolls are good, just follow that melody. More stylish if you do it with just one finger in the left hand. That's stylish. It's just a forward roll, follows through. You guys get it. That part isn't too bad. Again, it's all forward rolls, but it starts with a little quarter note pause at the beginning. So just be careful of that. Okay, this little lick is where it gets a little more complicated. So I'll roll down so you can see it ends on that F. So it's. So that's that thing. Okay, so let's talk about that. Isn't that pretty? So the core of it, we'll talk about this little piece later. That guy just gets you into it. That's just like, it's honest, that's just a forward roll. That's the index forward roll substituted with the thumb right there, starting with a little thumb too. And again, kind of like Foggy Mountain Breakdown 3-2 right there, but that just gets you into this thing, which is like the really like definitive drive lick of it. I love that. Okay, well let's talk about this first. It's a double 4-note pattern. It's actually a square roll, believe it or not. That's an alternate thumb roll, but it's a certain mode of the thumb roll, of the alternate thumb roll. So instead of it being thumb 1, thumb 2, this is 2 thumb 1 thumb, 2 thumb 1 thumb, 2 thumb 1 thumb, 2 thumb 1 thumb. There's a thumb every other note, alternated between the index and middle. So instead of thumb 1 thumb 2, it's 2 thumb 1 thumb. And you have this sweet little harmonic thing that's going on. See, the middle finger is getting that downbeat. It's kind of like a C suspended chord. Like there's your third inversion C chord, and then you just drop the first string down a whole step. And it's a different note per string. It's very pretty and it's very easy to play. Anyways, that's very pretty. Alternate middle roll with the middle on the downbeat. Okay, so that's that. And this guy right here, it's the same. That's actually a kind of forward backward roll. Believe it or not, it's not this. It's this. I'm just looking at the roll here. Remember, like you can change all those guys to zeros, and you'll see the roll. So that right there, we like to divide these rolls up into 4-note pieces. That is a middle forward roll. It's a forward roll starting on the middle. And this is a reverse roll starting on the thumb. So it's a thumb reverse. So the two of those together, it's middle forward, thumb reverse. So even though it's not a classic forward backward roll, there's a bunch of different types of forward backward rolls you can have. This one being a middle forward into a thumb reverse. Okay, and then I'll put those notes back. So again, you just hold that like that C sus4 kind of thing. Middle forward, thumb reverse. Middle gets the downbeat, thumb gets the downbeat. Middle forward, thumb reverse. So that's those two pieces. Then you go into the alternate thumb roll starting on the middle finger. Okay, now this is where we've turned into some tricky Scruggs style. And remember, you gotta end there because it's like basically this is going like just bringing you to a G7. Okay, so what's happening here? If I can get rid of that note, you can kind of see. Again, we like to break these up into 4-note chunks. That's a little easier to see right there. That's a middle reverse roll. Reverse roll starting on the middle finger. And that's actually an alternate index roll starting on the middle finger. So the index finger is alternated. That's those two notes right there. That's 2, 1, thumb, 1. That index finger is alternated. So that's an alternate index roll starting on the middle finger into a middle reverse roll starting on the middle finger. So as long as you lock in to like whatever finger's getting the downbeat, you should be good. Like, yeah, you should be able to lock into it. That's how I understand it. You want to play whatever notes, you want to emphasize whatever notes are starting those 4-note patterns, those 4-note systems, because those notes are the ones getting the click. Yeah. Okay, cool. So that brings us to the G7. So now let's talk about this piece. This is where it gets a little funny. So it's... Okay, so that thing, it's some Scruggs style. It's some very rhythmically intense Scruggs style. So, okay, if you've been paying attention, what you want to pay attention to is the forward rolls right there. You can get rid of that note right there, and it'll become clear. I hate that. It'll become clear. Okay, whatever. You can see those forward rolls happening there. That could be a forward roll, but actually, I do that as a forward roll. So anyways, we want to look at these forward rolls. Boom. To continue the forward roll, I actually bring my thumb up to that. So yeah, it's a forward roll. That's a little thumb one right there. So it's kind of like an abbreviated square roll, but then you go into a 5-note forward roll right there. I guess I'm not really talking about the 8th notes or the quarter notes right there. That's just a G7, and this is like basically a G7 going to a C lick. Yeah, it's thumb 1 and then a double forward roll, 7-note forward roll, and ended with that thumb on the 2nd string. That's stylish. Ending on the thumb gives you some power. Okay, now there's this thing. Let's see, how much of this can we bite off? I mean, that's basically the phrase. This lick actually really changed me. Yeah, whenever you see, I mean, that's a forward roll, thumb, 1, 2, and then you just want to do thumb 2 right there. That's the trick. Yeah, that's the trick right there. It's a displaced Foggy Mountain breakdown thing. So anyways, you can see that much of it is a forward roll. And then you just bring your thumb in right there, and then that'll get you through it. And then this thing, alternate middle roll right there. Bring your pinky up to that 5 on the 1st string. And then right there, alternate, we already talked about that roll a little earlier. Remember, that's an alternate index roll. Yeah, and then so this little piece right here actually is a good one. Follow the rolls, alternate index. Remember, we'll break it up into, and this is where it gets a little syncopated, a little rhythmically tense. That's alternate index right here. Oh my God, actually look at that displaced square roll. That's a good way to see it. Displaced square roll. That's thumb 1, thumb 2 over the bar line. Man, it's kind of weird breaking up into pieces. Anyways, there you have alternate index. Here you have, that is a square roll. It's thumb 2, thumb 1 instead of thumb 1, thumb 2. And then right here, alternate index roll, but that's kind of like a forward roll right there into a reverse roll. You can do it without that pull-off, because that pull-off is going to make it a little harder. But if you can get that roll, what's going to make that roll difficult is it's an alternate index. It's that alternated index finger in the roll. But it's kind of like, I mean, if you want to think about it, it's like a 5-note forward-backward roll. Thumb, 1, 2, 1, thumb. It goes forward, and then it goes backward with a pivot note, because that middle finger shares both the forward roll and the backward roll. It ends the forward roll and starts the reverse roll. So that little piece is going to be kind of tense. Let me put that, where was that? Yeah, put that pull off. Also, what it also feels like is that little square roll, instead of on the downbeat, it's giving you the slide instead of... It's giving you the slides on the offbeat, not the downbeat. That's one to think about. Anyways, play along with the tab. It'll make a little more sense. This guy right here, right there, that's a little complicated. What that is, that's actually a G7 flat 9. Oh, whoops. That's a G7 flat 9 approaching a C. Very Bach, actually. That's a diminished chord, if you're familiar with that shape. That's a G7 flat 9. There's your flat 7 of G. There's your flat 9 of G. And that roll itself, that's a Tony Trishka. That's called a 4 in a row roll. How you play that is thumb 1, thumb 2. It's a square roll. So yeah, that's a tricky one. That's a thumb 1, thumb 2. So your thumb has to play the 4th string and the 2nd. Oh, and this roll I love. Oh yeah, and then you just kind of go back into yeah, and this guy, that little Foggy Mountain thing, I'm going thumb 2, 1, 2. Thumb 2, 1, 2. We always want to do the alternate rolls where we can. I actually love this roll. This is the one that I thought was kind of up here, but it's not exactly. This one really impacted me when I was a kid. It wasn't the other one. It's this one. Again, okay, so you got that position where your index finger's on the 2nd fret and your pinky's on the 5th fret. Okay, so that you got, that's thumb forward. And then you have this guy, alternate middle, and then middle reverse roll. It's kind of like an old Joe Clark in there. But anyways, yeah, that's that little thing. Forward, alternate middle, middle reverse. Okay, now there's this thing. This thing gets a little more rhythmically complicated. So it's like, that thing's a little complicated. So if you can just get that rhythm, that thing, again, that's very syncopated. If you hear that against the click, it's gonna be it's that rhythm. It's kind of. I mean, you gotta feel it out, but you could map it out with a grid. But there's a lot of. It's index, 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 and thumb. Index, 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 thumb. Yeah, 3 indexes and then a thumb. Index, 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 thumb. And then it kind of just turns into like that little piece right there. It turns into some single string, and then he gives you this forward backward, and then you end right back into the same lick right there. But as long as you can see that forward backward roll, but it doesn't do a backward roll exactly, it does an alternate index roll, bringing you into the backward roll right there. And then here's the last lick. This thing right here, which is that little middle reverse roll we're all familiar with at the end. And then you just got to get that kind of like a melodic scale. It's a very small fragment of a melodic scale, and that's alternate middle. So you can get that, again, alternate middle into the middle reverse. And then this guy, you actually have to slide in with the alpha shape. The alpha shape, you just got to do a double stop on the third and the first string. So anyways, that basically sums up the whole tune. The last thing that we should talk about is the ending. Hold on, let me bring that up. I just got to add some measures here. Okay, so here's the ending out of the B part. It's this little piece. That thing. Little standard slide, start kind of like Cripple Creek, starting on the and. Forward backward roll on the minor pentatonic voicings right there. And then right here you can see it's kind of like an homage to the B part. Double forward roll on a G7. And then you have that square roll from the B part. And then again a forward roll right there on the open fourth string. Follow the rolls and you'll get it. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening. That was my analysis of Bela Fleck's Whitewater. More to come. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you later. Peace.